Branch ISD Board of Trustees to order at 5:30 p.m. on September 18th, 2025. For the record, board members present are Kim Brady, Ileana Garza Rojas, Carolyn Benavides, Paul Gilmore, Randy Shackman, and myself, Cassandra Hatfield. We constitute a quorum and may conduct business on behalf of the district. The next item on the agenda is audience for guests. Parents who wish to speak during audience for guests must have electronically submitted an online form for this purpose prior to the deadline of the closing of the form, which was today at 1:00 p.m. For this meeting, based on policy BED local, each speaker's comment will be limited to the posted agenda items. For the record, Ms. Barnes is also present. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling audience for guests. Anyone interested to speak in person, as already stated, must have submitted a form by 1 p.m. today at the deadline. Each speaker will be allowed to speak once during audience for guests. Speakers designated as a stakeholder will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes, and speakers designated as non-stakeholders will be allowed a maximum of 1 minute to address the board, dictated by board policy BED local. Because the board wants to hear from as many of you as possible while keeping the meeting running efficiently, groups of more than 5 people who want to present a particular viewpoint on a topic should appoint one person to speak on behalf of the group. Please remember that the board cannot deliberate on any subject that is not included on the agenda for this meeting. Board members will listen to comments but will not respond or answer questions. We ask that you not discuss students who are not your own child. The timer will be shown on the screen in front of you, and you will begin when you arrive at the podium to speak. Again, that presentation is limited to the allotted time. Tonight we have one stakeholder comment, and so the time is 3 minutes, and that is Lisa Sutter.
Hi, I'm Lisa Sutter, and I am the guardian of a student at CFB ISD. Last Monday, September 8th, Carmen had the unfortunate experience of having been turned away for care because I had not signed your Senate
Ms. Sutter, could you please pause for a second?
Go further close. Okay.
If you'd like to, you may begin again.
Okay, thank you. Can I hold it?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Last Monday, September 8th, Carmen had the unfortunate experience of having been turned away for care because I had not signed your Senate Bill 12, Parents' Bill of Rights. She informed me late that night and was very concerned. She is type 1 diabetic and a 504 student. I have also learned of another child who was denied care due to a severe nosebleed. I do want to state that the teachers, nurses, and principals of her school and across CFB ISD are outstanding and caring, but unfortunately, we have a district that appears to have required denial of care until a form was signed, even though we all filled out forms during registration period at the beginning of the year for their care. I came to speak on SB 12 because the interpretation by the school district, in my mind, lacks common sense application. The over-lawyered interpretation by the TEA and the school districts are concerning. I will read a post from State Representative Jeff Leach. Today, Senator Creighton and I, as the authors of SB 12, the Parents' Bill of Rights, sent this letter to TEA Commissioner Mike Morath, responding to reports that some educators and school nurses are refusing to render basic first aid to children, like Band-Aids and ice packs, which is clearly not at all provided for or required under the new law. While we expect our educators to comply with the clear provisions of the bill, we also expect them to not suspend common sense when it comes to providing basic care for the children at their schools. So with that statement, in my closing, I'm going to ask you guys, all of y'all, all the trustees, I'm sorry, to please reconsider the intent of your approval of SB 12 tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sutter, for your comments. Administration will follow up with you with regards to your concern. You're welcome.
So our legislative session this year had many different adoptions of. You can't hear me? Okay, my microphone's on. It's on. You, let me use yours. Okay. I think can you hear me now? Okay. So our legislative session this year had many different bills that were passed for us to implement as a school district, in which we are required to implement them. And so this resolution tonight that Mr. Mersch will present is to allow us more time to write the implementation plan for each one of these, as we are working on many of them. But again, with the session ending late and also going through the Texas Education Agency, there is a lot of work to begun on the requirements. And so Mr. Mersch is going to explain the purpose of this resolution. So Mr. Mersch.
Thank you, Dr. Eldridge, President Hatfield, members of the board. And I will repeat some of the things that Dr. Eldridge said. So Senate Bill 12 is a product of the 89th legislative session. There were 1,482 education-related bills that were submitted. Of those, 103 were passed. Of those, there are over 230 actions that must take place as a result of the passing of the bills. There were numerous actions that had to be taken by September 1st, and we did not have all the information. We don't have the policies, and some of these we were waiting on other entities like TEA who were developing the forms and the procedures. And one example, we received some of that information on August the 28th that had to be in place by September 1st. So all the districts in Texas use TASB policy services except for one district. And the reason for that is they have very large policy staff that are studying the policies daily. They have a large legal staff to review all the policies and to make recommendations to ensure that they're compliant with the law. So they will not have those policies available until mid-October, the middle of next month. The challenge is that there's also another requirement that the district certify by September 30th that all of these have been completed. Everything that's listed on that resolution, 25 items, and there's a related 28 policies that will be in that TASB update the middle of next month. So TASB Legal came out with this resolution so that districts could be in compliance, so they could sign off and certify by September 30th that we are in compliance with the requirement. And so what that resolution is stating is that employees and contractors will be in compliance with the law, and that once policies are available, they will go through the vetting process that we currently have, and it goes through the subcommittee, goes through staff, and ultimately it comes to the board for discussion. So this resolution is just allowing the district to provide certification and stating that the district employees and contractors will follow the law and that policies will be put in place once they've been through the process. And I'll just summarize. This is the largest legislation for parents' rights and impacting operations that any district, any of us have seen in many, many years. There's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of challenges, and I can assure you that the staff is working diligently and dedicated to doing this entire process with fidelity, with clear communication, and to be in compliance. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mersch. Board members, any questions? Ms. Garza Rojas?
Mr. Mersch, thank you so much for all the hard work, all of our employees here and you, to try to implement everything that our legislature has mandated for us to do. Can you please, again, for the community, tell us how many bills came into session that are going to affect public education?
There are 103. which is actually an increase of 22 over prior year. But what's different about these is there are more actions required within each bill, as we've seen ever.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Gilmore?
All right, I think I understand this. So this is for compliance. I got that.
Yes, sir.
And it's yet to, because it's very vague, and this shows why it's important for us to be in contact with our state reps. The district didn't put out anything telling nurses don't treat for a bloody nose or don't give a Band-Aid or anything like that. There was an issue with the nurses
Yes.
board.
There's
So can we make that clear to
yes.
the community?
So what we have is we have the law that's stated, then we have some additional clarification, which we received more this week. The nurses are put into a very challenging position because it's about their license, so they really have to rely on the Board of Nurses and their organizations to comply with what they're telling them they need to do so that they're not in jeopardy of losing their license. And that is a little different. It's a little inconsistent with the information provided by the state. So we put in measures to go ahead and be able to provide the care that's needed. And I know there was an example brought up tonight, and we will follow up and find out what happened on that. Every kid should be provided the care they need. Whether it's by a nurse, we've set up situations so that we have supplies in classrooms so basic care can be provided by the teachers. We have administrators that have the supplies and they're able to support the students. We're not going to allow students not to receive the assistance that they need.
Ms. Benavides?
Thank you for that information. Regarding that same subject, the forms that need to be signed by the parents, how is that being done and where are we on percentages? And hopeful that we're getting the word out so that they know this is required.
Yes, it's been put out extensively on Parent Square and through the campuses. I don't have that percentage. The report is going to be run in the morning, so we'll have that percentage in the morning. Campuses tomorrow are calling all the parents and guardians who have not submitted the form to be able to explain it to them and walk them through the process so we can get as many signed up or opted in as possible.
Ms. Barnes?
So just to bring it back to this resolution, what this resolution essentially is doing is us giving you permission to enact these policies as soon as you have direction from TEA. Is that correct?
So if you approve this resolution, it is allowing the district to be in compliance by September 30th. And it's only stating that the district employees and contractors will follow the law as written, which that's the expectation regardless.
Right.
And that when the policies are available, they will be put into place. There's still a lot that's unknown. There's a lot of things that have to be defined. So there's a lot of work to be done. And like I said, it still will go through the process and be vetted by staff, vetted by the governance board, and then ultimately vetted by the board. And no policy can be put in place unless authorized and approved by the majority of the board.
Thank you so much for the
You're welcome.
clarification.
Any other board members before Mr. Gilmore goes again? All right, Mr. Gilmore.
Can I go ahead? Okay. And so if a parent has been missed and hadn't signed that yet and something happens tomorrow, well, they're off tomorrow, but next week, they're going to be taken care of, right?
Yes, sir. And we have processes in place. And just for clarity, that's only for general medical care. Emergency care is not part of that. If there's any type of emergency medical care that's needed, they will provide that immediately, whether regard if there's a form or not.
Additional questions or comments? Mr. Marsh, have we had any additional staff for this to work on the legislative work, or are we still working within the staff we have available?
There has been no additional staff.
All right, thank you. Do you have Ms. Garza-Rojas?
I had one more question. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Just board members, Mr. Gilmore, I know our school, and as a parent with the kid in this district, we received the form and we had to electronically sign it. Not only did the principal send it to us, but also the teacher sent it to us, and anybody else. I mean, they could basically send a waiver and show it to us up above our head. So they've been working diligently to get it done. My question for you, Mr. Mersch, is just, are we the only district that's having to deal with this?
No, ma'am. All districts are having to deal with this exact situation.
Thank you.
You have anything? I was gonna. Okay. Do you have something else? Okay.
So I just want to add to today we had at 3:00 a superintendent call with the commissioner, and the commissioner defined, went over the health-related services bill, and there has been a lot of confusion. So the first information that was sent out August 28th was revised again on September 8th, and when we use terms like common sense, we're also define that for a nurse that has a license. So we have to protect our nurses because they are licensed, but we also have to provide care. So there has been mass confusion on this subject, and he defined it again and also sent out more notes today. So we are constantly in communication with our TEA commissioner, and we are required. These are mandates. When they are passed through legislation, we are mandated to do these things, and we want to do them right. We want to take care of kids, and we want to take care of our teachers, but also our staff. And so it's not anyone saying they don't want to, but if you're a nurse with a license, you are bound by that. It's a question of what we have to do, and I don't think it was defined clearly from the beginning, and which puts us all in no one wants to be in this situation. So we are working diligently with our campuses and our parents, and we want to provide care and safe for all of our students. So just wanted to give you all an update.
Thank you, Dr. Eldridge. For the benefit of the community, I also want you to know that on the TEA website, you can Google TEA legislative updates, and they have a page with all of the legislative updates with approximate dates that they're going to be providing additional guidance on all of the bills. And there you can also see for Senate Bill 12, where not only did they release something on August 28th, they released something on September 11th. And when you click into the links on September 11th and you click on those links, I looked at them today, they say updated on August 8th. And so what you're going to see is that everyone is working to be in compliance with what our legislatures have passed. But not only is it taking time for our staff, who we have not added to, because we're focused on student outcomes and focusing on the classroom and spending our dollars in the classroom, we are working within the boundaries that we have to be able to comply with the law, while also recognizing that the Texas Education Agency provides guidance to districts so that they can be in compliance, because they're also taking that legislative look and looking at all those details and making sure they're writing rules. So I just want you to be aware that you do have that website available where you can follow along. There are monthly updates on there about various bills, and it's quite fascinating. Some of the bills are not even going to have updates until the 2027 year. And so it is going to take time for TEA to provide guidance, as they are also limited in staff as we continue to work for student achievement. Board members, do you have any additional questions or comments? All right, seeing none, this item is marked for possible action. I do note that this item does require the resolution to be read, and so do I have a motion? Ms. Garza Rojas?
I move that we adopt the Senate Bill 12 and Parents' Rights Resolution as presented. And go ahead and read the resolution. Okay. Resolution regarding Senate Bill 12 and parent rights. Whew, it's going to be a long one, y'all. Whereas Senate Bill 12 from the 89th legislative session relates to parental rights in public education, including requirements and prohibitions regarding instruction, diversity, equity, and inclusion duties, assistance with districts, student social transitioning, and student clubs. Whereas Senate Bill 12 becomes effective on September 1st, 2025, and whereas local policies relating to matters in Senate Bill 12 will be adopted as soon as practicable, but after the effective date. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Carrollton-Farmers Branch Independent School District directs all staff and contractors to comply with the following requirements and directives. Number 1, all policies shall be implemented and followed. Number 2, parental rights, including the right to direct the moral and religious training of the parent's child, make decisions concerning the child's education, and consent to medical, psychiatric, and psychological treatment of the parent's child will not be infringed unless required by law, or to provide life-saving care to the child. Number 3, except as required by state or federal law, employees and contractors may not assign diversity, equity, and inclusion duties to any person, and the district hereby prohibits a district employee, contractor, or volunteer from engaging in diversity, equity, and inclusion duties for, or on behalf of the district. Number 4, an employee or contractor who intentionally or knowingly engages in or assigns to another person diversity, equity, and inclusion duties will be appropriately disciplined up to and including termination. Employees. Number 5, employees of the district are prohibited from assisting a student enrolled in the district with social transitioning, including providing any information about social transitioning or providing guidelines intended to assist a person with social transitioning. Number 6, no information about a parent's child may be withheld from the parent unless required by law, and parents are entitled to access all written records of the district concerning the parent's child, including library records and health records. Information may be withheld if disclosure is likely to result in the student suffering abuse or neglect. Number 7, information regarding a parent's right to access records relating to the parent's child shall be posted on the district's homepage of the internet website. Number 8, instructional plans or course syllabi for each class offered in the district for a semester must be posted on the district's internet website at the beginning of each semester. Number 9, the superintendent is directed to provide for an internet portal through which parents of students enrolled in the district may submit comments to campus or district administrators and the board. Number 10, the board shall prioritize public comments by hearing comments at the beginning of each board meeting. Number 11, the board will only hold board meetings outside of typical work hours. Number 12, parents are entitled to notice no later than 1 school business day after the date an employee first suspects that a criminal offense has been committed against a parent's child. Number 13, employees are not prohibited from providing parents with information regarding a student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being, or a change in services provided to or monitoring of the student related to the student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. Number 14, no employee will encourage or have the effect of encouraging a student to withhold from the student's parent information about the student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. Number 15, employees may not discourage or prohibit parental knowledge of or involvement in critical decisions affecting a student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. Number 16, unless authorized by law, no employee may disclose a child's health or medical information to any person other than the child's parent. Number 17, unless authorized by law, no employee may collect, use, store, or disclose to any person other than the child's parent a child's biometric identifiers. Number 18, unless authorized by law, no employee will provide health care services or medication or conduct a medical procedure to a student. Number 19, all grievances received by the district on or after September 1st, 2025 will comply with the legal requirements in Texas Education Code Chapter 26A. Number 20, before a student may be provided with human sexuality instruction, the district must obtain the written consent of the student's parent in the manner prescribed by law. Number 21, no employee may provide or allow a third party to provide instruction, guidance, activities, or programming regarding sexual orientation or gender identity to students enrolled in pre-K through pre-kindergarten through grade 12. Number 22, each parent will provide at least 2 opportunities for in-person conferences with the child's teacher during each school year. Number 23, no student club authorized or sponsored by the district may be based on sexual orientation or gender identity. Number 24, written parental consent is required before a student may participate in a student club authorized or sponsored by the district or campus. Number 25, the superintendent is directed to provide a copy of this resolution to all district employees and contractors electronically. Adopted this 18th day of September 2025 by the board.
Thank you, Ms. Garza Rojas. Do I have a second? I have a second from Mr. Scheckman. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed? By a vote of 7 in favor, 0 opposed, the motion carries. The board will now move to the next agenda item number 4, which is comments from board members regarding posting agenda items. Board members, does anyone have any comments regarding the posted agenda? All right. Seeing none, you are more than welcome to stay and join us for our 6 o'clock meeting, where we will be focused on student outcomes and working on our goal progress measures for one of our district goals. And so we welcome you to stay for that. That meeting starts at 6 o'clock, but at this time, we'll adjourn this meeting at 5:54 p.m.
We're going downstairs, down into the, do we want to take a picture here or do you want to wait and take it?